Hi, I'm Mary Greendale, and this is Just Thinking. Welcome to our annual series of interviews of candidates for local government offices. The town election is May 20th. We have contests for select board between a challenger and an incumbent. For Park Commission, we have 4 candidates for 2 open seats. For School Committee, we have 4 candidates for 2 seats with 1 incumbent. And for Library Trustees, we have 4 candidates for 2 seats. 2 candidates are incumbents, but 1 incumbent declined to be interviewed. That was an incumbent for the library. I am interviewing all these candidates. I have prepared specific questions for each board or committee. Each candidate will respond to the same questions for that office in their interview. I ask a few different questions of incumbents to reflect their years of service. Voters can compare the candidates' responses. The interviews are done one at a time and will be posted when all the candidates for an office have been interviewed. My goal is to have the videos run 30 minutes, except maybe longer for School Committee. I had a lot of questions. The videos will be available on HCAP's website, on HCAP's YouTube channel, and on our Facebook page. Let's get started. Okay, so now we're going to move into our interview with Nicole Downin, who is running for the Park Commission. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So you are a coach for track.
Yes.
Is that what we just? Yeah, she just came in out of a rainstorm, so she's come with a little bit of excitement before she got here. So, what drew you to run for the Park Commission? I've got to guess that if you're into track and coaching a bunch of kids, that might answer the question. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes, I did just come from a track meet, and this wasn't really on my radar. One of the Parks and Recs staff reached out to me and said they thought this would be a good fit for me to run. I've known, it was Shannon Cornwell. I've known her for years. Both of her kids are actually on the track team right now, so I kind of coach them. And I'm an outdoors person. I run on the trails, and I walk my dog every day. And my family just loves all of the parks. We've been here for 13 years, and we've been to probably every single park in this town many, many times and for many years. So, yeah.
Okay. Do you describe your interest and personal goals for your first term? Do you have anything formulated?
Well, one of my major goals is just to listen and learn. I think that's, not knowing that much about this type of a role. I think that would be my, introduction, is just to listen and learn to the community, to the Parks and Rec staff, and the rest of the commission that is on there. And then, some of my personal goals, I love the town, and I just want to see it flourish like it is now. So being a part of, kind of, a public office in town didn't know it was my goal, but here I am.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So you obviously have experience. Do you have education as well that is especially relevant to this office?
My experience mostly comes in the form of athletics. I went to a Division I school, ran Division I track, and I made 2 Olympic teams after post-collegiately. And I have been running and coaching in some form almost my entire career in existence. So that's more where my, yeah.
So, what personal experiences have you or your family had with the parks? You said you visited the mall. What kind of programs have you participated in?
So we've been here almost 13 years, and when my kids were of age, around, I don't even know when you start, probably 6 or 7, we started enrolling them into the Goodwill camps, and then onto the Potomac camps. And my son has also done the flag football with Mark Frank, and we've done, recently my adult friends and I have taken pickleball classes, which was really fun. Yep. We've bought the stickers to the lake since we've lived here, so we've been sticker holders for 12, 13 years. So we enjoy all parts of the park and the recreation areas of Holliston, and yeah.
So you've seen it front row seats.
Yes.
You will be one of 5 people on the commission if you are elected. How are you at working as a team member? What experience do you have in that?
Well, I've been on many track teams with my my athletes and competitors, and I work well with my own teammates, but I've also coached with the same group of coaches for many years, and we collaborate, and we're honest and open, and we're transparent about how we coach our kids, with parents, with the athletes. So I feel like I work well with my own coaching team, and then with my student athletes, I try to empower them to be good teammates and good just overall people. I coach the distance. I'm the head coach, but I coach the distance runners, and I meet with each one individually prior to the season, and we come up with goals, and we figure out how to implement those goals throughout the season. So I feel like bringing people in, your team, your coaches, and being honest and open and transparent, we can, everybody can do their part and make big leaps and bounds and changes and meet their goals.
That sounds good. That's probably been a lot of experience. Is there a particular issue at the parks or involved with the programming or anything that you're interested in?
I haven't particularly found any, kind of taking the easy way out, I haven't really found any issues. If I were to have a passion or a goal, it would be to, in the whole town, not just the parks, but clean up. Trash cleanup. I mean, it's everywhere.
Yeah,
and
I know.
If you've ever seen someone out with their dog and their little kid cleaning trash, my family and we go out, take trash bags and clean up. And I would love to somehow get the community involved and take ownership for not just the parks and our school spaces, but just the whole town. And
Yeah. Let me reassure you, we have done some of that in the past. We've had
sure.
cleanup days and that kind of thing, but I think people have become messier and messier.
I agree.
And it used to be I walked with a trash bag too on Winter Street, it would be all the time, but it just seems like trash is everywhere nowadays.
It really
used to
is.
be recycling, don't throw the trash out the door, out the window, it's your responsibility, don't be a litter bug,
Right.
all those kinds. Nobody worries about that anymore. They bag their trash and drop it off.
Yeah, maybe we need to implement fines again. I mean, that was, I remember seeing those signs for a while, but that's not where I more want to get everybody,
engaged
involved.
in it.
And
You have to wonder whether or not there's some relationship. It might be an interesting conversation for the commission to have with the select board when they're doing the trash contract. Is it that there aren't enough barrels in different places? Is it that, we all complain about the size of the barrels and that kind of thing. So there may be some other overlap with others, but I digress. So anyway. There are 2 components to the commission's work, the parks, the physical properties, and then the programs. 2 very different components, and there have been times in history when there's been discussion of splitting them up. But are you interested in one more than the other?
From what I've researched and learned, I feel like it does go hand in hand, the parks with the recreation. They kind of feed off of one another, and I think that Mark and Shannon do a fantastic job of kind of making it work together. We have a fantastic camp, which there are wait lists. After 5 minutes after they open their, open the sign up. So they are doing all of the right things, in my opinion. So I just think that they work hand in hand and they work well together.
I think that the reason there's been discussion about separating them, I'll move into the next question, which is whether or not they should be, is because the workload at different times has been so intense for both the staff and the commission in terms of when there's work to be done on the fields, or when and people do holler about the condition of fields, let me warn you. But at any rate, when those projects can be all consuming from a people power position.
Yes.
And so I think it's more been, can the commission really manage given their time, and can the staff really manage doing both? And that's, something that, the commission might want to explore or not. You've said that you think that they probably work better together, and maybe you'll see differently when you get on there.
From what I've heard and talked to, I've talked to Shaw Lively and with Mark and with Shannon, and they've said that recently they've partnered with DPW and come up with a, managing a group within DPW that helps the parks and recreation manage all of that work. And so I think they are expanding a little bit, getting a little portion in with another group, and then they do hire out for a lot of other things, which is probably really expensive. But they seem to be like managing it with the power that they have. So
good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know. Do you have any ideas for or concerns about any of the park properties?
Not necessarily the park properties. I think when I see the park properties and what I've experienced with my children, for the past 12, 13 years, is they're fairly clean and well managed. More trash barrels would be fantastic. The open spaces that they're involved with are, pretty well up to standard for our town. The only space, and it's kind of outside of the parks and recs, I guess the word might be jurisdiction, and I don't want to, digress too much, but is the field that I, coach on, the track. The track needs a lot of work, and there's some work happening, but I would like to be a voice for that area. And a lot of people use that space, and it should represent Holliston High School in a nicer way, in my opinion.
So when we talk about the track, we're talking about the one that's
track
at the high
surface.
school.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and a lot of people do use that.
A lot of people use it.
just on the weekends. Lots of people just walk on it and that kind of stuff.
So recently they've already decided this, so my voice is kind of out of that. They've decided to resurface instead of redo. And in my opinion, it would have been much better for our town to redo the track and make it a nice track for the entire community, not just resurfacing, which is just kind of a Band-Aid on a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, if you went out there and looked at it, you would see it's got some work to be done, but it's
Well, you'll probably, if you're elected, it's a 5-year term. You'll probably get another chance at it.
probably yes.
That's what usually happens.
Yeah.
So some people have called Lake Winthrop our crown jewel. How do you see it fitting into our community's priorities? What is it that we can or should be doing to maximize the use of it?
Well, I think they use it in a fantastic way for the Parks and Recreation, especially with the summer programs. They have all the camps, or one of the biggest camps run there, the Potomac Camp, and with the swimming lessons, and they just built that boat holder, which is for canoes and I think maybe kayaks.
Kayaks too, yeah.
So to get people more access to the lake, I like that they do the concerts in the park now at Stoddard. So you're right there. You could be on the lake or you can be in the, in the grass there. I love the lake. It's one of the first draws we had to this town. We take our stand-up paddleboards out there all summer long. Yeah. So my kids have grown up being on the lake.
There are some times that the winds on that lake are actually pretty good for stand-up paddleboarding. I know that John down at Fisk's used to give lessons.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Well, my husband has swam many times to save the kids that have been pushed to the side from the wind.
Yeah, it is pretty healthy.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any changes that you see at this point that you'd like to make in either the programs or the operations or the system at large?
I would say that Mark and Shannon and the current board has done an excellent job of where they are, and I would just want to, add my voice to that. So I wouldn't come in thinking I want to make this change and that change. I would come in and be a good, teammate and join their collective voices and trying to continue doing what they're already doing.
Okay. You might have ideas to share.
Maybe some.
Yeah, you will. And the longer that you sit on the board, after that first year or whatever, I'm sure you'll come up with many more. So I give you 2 minutes to do a pitch. If you want to do a right into the camera why people should vote for you.
Okay.
You can look right at that camera and you can do this is why I'm running and why you think people should vote for you or whatever you want to say. Okay.
Okay. I probably won't talk for 2 minutes, but I thank you all for watching and listening to what I had to say and answer these questions. If you don't recognize me, you might recognize me with my dog. I walk every single day on the streets of Holliston and in the trails and on the rail trail. And I just love our town, and I would like to add my voice to what is already, in my opinion, a really great brand program. I would also like to say my friend Sinead would also be a good person to vote with. I've known her for many years, and we walk our dogs together and have great collective ideas. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. I love this exchange of promotion and endorsement for one another. Sinead did the same thing for you.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she did. So at any rate, well, thank you for joining me. I know that this is sometimes intimidating to
Yes,
people,
very.
but you were very, oh, you did fine. You
Thank
did
you.
fine. As you know, people generally do so much better than they think that they will. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for watching Just Thinking. You've done your homework. Now please remember to vote on May 20th. It's important for you, your family, and our community. Thank you.